Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Eric. Today I want to talk about the Cybertruck. Um, well, let me backtrack a little bit. So 2 days ago I sat out here on this balcony and I talked about NIO Day. I made some predictions. One of my predictions was, I would refrain from making NIO content every day because I don't think you guys need it. I don't think it's necessary. I think bigger picture is more important than macro or micro changes every single day in the stock, fluctuations in the market, or weekly sales. So my prediction didn't come true because I said I would be making less NIO content, and yet here I am today making this video. So in today's video, I just want to really briefly comment on the Cybertruck presentation that happened China time this morning. I woke up and I watched it a couple hours ago, and I want to talk about how my feeling is that part of it kind of really, I would say, validates NIO's whole entire business proposition. Their whole idea, it validates power swapping entirely. Now we all know that Tesla tried power swapping, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago with the Model S in California with one power swap station. Obviously they weren't serious about it, it didn't work. However, in today's Cybertruck presentation, Tesla did debut their range extender model, which to me is kind of funny. But anyway, I'm laughing because the whole entire Cybertruck presentation was kind of funny to me. I don't want to get into everything. A lot of channels, a lot of content already going over it. You know, you can make up your own mind about the car, the truck, the features, the range, the price. You can make your own mind up about all of that. I'm not here to do that for you. But I guess one thing I'll say about the presentation when I watched it was that it absolutely felt like maybe like a high school theater production's first dress rehearsal for a performance. Like the lighting was bad, the transitions were bad. It seemed like people weren't exactly sure where to stand, what to do, where to go, where the camera should be. It felt very amateurish. It doesn't give off good vibes, doesn't feel very professional. You know, and I'll be the first one to like criticize NIO as well. Like, I'm obviously a fan of NIO. I have this channel that has a lot of NIO content. I'm also a fan of Tesla. I know some people don't believe it because I do criticize them, but I do like their cars. I think they're fun to drive. I think there's problems with some of their cars. I think there's problems with the brand, with Elon, all that stuff. But Tesla, you know, they're a pioneer and I do like them, but they're not perfect. And, you know, when NIO launched in Europe, what was like 2 years ago in Norway, I gave kind of a review of their presentation there. And I remember saying it was kind of a little bit amateurish, a little bit not polished. And they've consistently got better since then. And somehow it feels like Tesla, sometimes they're more professional and sometimes they're not. I don't know what they're really doing.
So, now, what about utility?
Anyway, this Cybertruck presentation felt very amateurish, but I guess it's not a presentation, it's a delivery event. So it's just for buyers. I don't know. It's not really that important. That's not what I'm here to talk about. Make up your own mind. What I want to talk about is the range extender. This only happened a couple hours ago, so I'm sure maybe by the time I post this, more details will come out with regards to everything. But from what I gather, the range extender is like a toolbox-sized battery pack that goes inside of the truck bed, and Elon has said that it takes up 1/3 of the truck bed. I'm not a truck guy. I don't haul stuff around. I don't know how important that is. I'm not going to comment on that, but it seems like a lot. But the other thing that has come out in the last hour or two is also that people have looked at like the code or whatever on the website or the order form, and they've seen that it seems to be listed in the back end at 16,000 US dollars for an upgrade. And that upgrade seems to give you about 130 miles of improvement, of range improvement. I guess the battery pack in the Cybertruck is something like 120 kilowatt hours. And then of course, depending on your trim, your options, your motor options, your range is different. But I guess it's like, let's say 120 kilowatt hours and it gets you 340 miles of range. And then with the range extender, it gets you 130 more miles of range, which I guess would be like a 40 kilowatt hour battery pack bump, roughly, more or less, if my approximate math is correct. So you're adding a giant battery pack to the back. Now, as of my recording this, details are still super scarce. I've seen some people comment and speculate that maybe it's like modular and you can take it out and put it back in as needed, or they hope that that's possible. But then people say it's probably too heavy to do that, all this stuff. But like I said, all this does is confirm that NIO's strategy with having swappable, upgradable battery packs is a very, very good strategy. I'm not saying it's the correct strategy, but it's a smart strategy. Because if you look at it like this, most of the time, if you're a Cybertruck owner, you do not need probably the 470 miles of range, right? Most of the time you're driving to work and back, your work site. I don't know what a person with a truck does, but that's what you're doing. You're probably not going 470 miles and which we all know EVs, actually the stated range is not the accurate range, but let's just call it 470 miles. You're maybe going 20 miles here to work and back, something like that. But then when you do want the extended range for towing or for going off to the backcountry, you know, that's when you need it. That's when you want an upgradable battery pack. That's when you want NIO's model where, you know, with a NIO, I'm driving with a 75 kilowatt hour pack, and now I want to go use my vehicle, my Cybertruck, for extended range, for towing. I just go and pay for a weekly or a daily upgrade, whatever the fee is in your country, and then you get the extended range of the battery pack, you get the 470 miles, and then when you're done, swap back to your smaller pack that makes more sense for your daily commute, doesn't ruin the roads as much, gives you better energy consumption, all that good stuff that you want with a smaller pack for your normal daily commutes. But instead, what it is with the Cybertruck is a $16,000, maybe, that's a rumor, right? A $16,000 upgrade to have this extra weight, extra range, extra battery in your truck, consuming the space in your truck that you could actually use for hauling stuff. And you're only going to use this extra range for most people's cases, not everybody's case, but for most people's case, you're only going to use this extra range on road trips or when hauling things or when going camping. So not all the time, very, very rare. So you pay, again, let's say $16,000 for something you use 1 week out of the year, 2 weeks out of the year. It's madness. Imagine if you could just pay $20 a day for this, put it in when you need it, take it out when you don't. Such a much better strategy and a much better product for the consumer. And again, I'm not going to give NIO any passes, right? In Europe, NIO does not have upgradable battery pack solution. From what they said, from what I can gather, it's because of regulations in Europe. I don't know how lobbying works in Europe or how fixing these kind of regulations works in Europe, but this is something that absolutely needs to be fixed if people in Europe want to have the full benefits of battery swapping, if they want to have the full benefits as battery as a service, if they want to have the full benefits of NIO. Again, in my opinion today, Tesla fully validated NIO's entire existence, their entire strategy with power swapping. But NIO still needs to implement that strategy fully and completely in Europe and wherever else they go in the future, like they have in China. Because in China, you can upgrade your battery for $8 a day. And again, I gotta say, I'm not gonna give NIO any free passes because they did promise a 150 kilowatt hour battery pack in 2023 and we got 1 month to go and it doesn't look like it's happening. So again, you know, they're not perfect, just like Tesla's not perfect, but the entire strategy for NIO makes way more sense in my mind today than it did yesterday. And I've already fully bought into the whole entire NIO ecosystem and I'm on board with power swapping. I already believe in it. And today, Cybertruck range extender for 16,000 US dollars for 130 miles. Are you kidding me? Like, oh, I gotta hand it to Elon. He knows how to milk people dry. But all I'm saying is that's not a very consumer-oriented, very user-focused enterprise like NIO is. It's very much, I want to sell you pie in the sky, pipe dreams. I want to sell you nonsense that may or may not even come true, which is kind of the MO for them with the Roadster and the Cybertruck from 2019 to now. But anyway, what do you guys think? Tell me, does this help validate NIO's entire power swap strategy? Or would you prefer to be able to just buy a giant battery pack for $16,000 and stick it in your trunk or in your flatbed of your truck? Which way is better as a consumer? I'm not talking about as a business, I'm talking about as a consumer. What do you want to see out of your electric car? That's my little rant for today. Tell me what you think about the Cybertruck, what you think about range extender, what you think about power swapping, all that good stuff. And then I promise fewer NIO videos coming, but still some. I was actually going to go make a different video today, but I just had to talk about this. And it had to be timely because Cybertruck just launched today, right? So got to get it out there. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. And take it easy. Rush to the yayo. Bye-bye.